Hi, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to complete a pyramid card spread using Letterman cards. And we're going to use a little bit of gossip along the way just to complete the reading to make it a little bit more fun. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to complete a 10 card pyramid spread using Letterman cards. Now, with this spread, it's a little bit different. There's kind of different, depends upon your intention. The intention is with these cards, it's kind of more like guidance, not general guidance, but kind of guidance like my job is driving me crazy. What do I need to do to make things go better? Okay, it's not really a fortune like tell me about my relationship or tell me about this, tell me about that. It's more of what can I do to change things and what is happening. And I know that everybody is in the same type of situation. We want things to change quickly. Okay. So, okay, let me tell you about the gossip that we're going to do. There are so many things that are happening in the news right now. And I wrote down several different things that were happening, and I was actually pulled to do this type of reading for Selena Gomez because I feel like Selena Gomez has been off and on the news since she was, in Barney in such a long time. And it seems like she's struggling. And I was really pulled for her for some reason. And so I thought, okay, we need to go for her. So the intention was, in her career that she has now, what type of things can we tell her to continue to do? Some type of guidance to help her, continue with her job. Okay, so I went ahead and did the card reading, and I already set the intention. I was already asked the question for Selena, and I'm going to pretend that she has come to me and going, I don't know what to do, Michelle. I'm going crazy. My job is driving me crazy. What do I need to do? And so let's go ahead and this is a short, quick way to do it. So whenever you look at the first row, this first card, this is kind of like the crown of the situation, okay? The influence. What is definitely happening here? And it's very interesting that she would get the lily card because the lily card can mean mature in wisdom. It can mean something that you've done for a long time. And it also can mean virtues. But in this situation, it really means that Selena has been in the same job for a very long time. And, even as long as she's young, but most of her life, okay? So she has been in the entertainment business for a long time. So let's go ahead and look at row 2. And what row 2 shows us is the theme of it is the actions that you can take, okay? And so with the bear, okay, this almost means like a leader or a person that you can put in your life that's very strong personality. And the sun means joy, okay? When you can put the bear plus the sun, it almost means that there is somebody in your life that is very optimistic, a leader in your life. And I'm almost feeling because we're looking at the theme of these two cards and it's really saying what advice, what can you do? What actions can you take? Well, maybe she needs to have somebody that is much more optimistic for her. She might be in hanging out with some negative people, and not meaning in a bad way, just meaning that she needs really somebody to come in and say, all right, we're going to do it this way. We're going to bring joy into your life. So we will continue from there. So let's look at this next row. And this next row card reading is the underlying factors, okay, the influence that she may be aware of or may not be aware of, okay? But a lot of times people may be aware of it, but may then, think, oh, I'm going to ignore this situation. So she has the whip, she has the stork, and she has the man. Okay. So whenever you look at all three together, and this is something that it could mean, okay, that the whip is, something that is painful. Okay. And the stork means movement. So whenever looking at that and really looking at the headlines, I probably know too much information, but she keeps doing a recurring cycle of, how some people just have depression and they're just not looking at the world in a fun way. She may be having a cycle and that she's getting a hard time getting out of. And then you have a gentleman right there, okay, the gentleman card. So it may mean that she keeps having relationships with gentlemen that are bringing negativity into her life, and she really wants a happy one, and for some reason she cannot get that, and she's having a hard time breaking that cycle. So that may be the underlying current as well, is that she just can't be happy in a relationship. And that's going to cause depression in your business as well. Okay. Now, the very last section, okay, is that these are cards that have more advice. Okay. It's kind of the holding up the pyramid. It's going to be giving you advice on the whole situation. So let's look at the very first card. We have the bouquet, then we have the bird, we have the book, and we have the coffin. Okay, so whenever you look at the bouquet, I always like to start one card at a time, because if you look at all four cards all at the same time, and you're just learning Lenormand cards, it's going to frustrate you because the longer the chain is, the more difficult it can be. Okay. So I first go, okay, what does the bouquet and the bird mean? Okay. The bouquet can mean that, especially with a bird, that she's getting some type of advice or communication that is like complimenting her. Okay. So it may also mean that she has a lot of fans that are just in awe with her. And it may be, depending on the situation, it may be kind of like uncomfortable for her because she gets so much praise and everything that she may be getting uncomfortable. And when you bring the book into the situation with the bird in the book, okay, it is like the book could mean, unknown information. So whenever you put all three together, it's almost like when she gets these compliments or she gets people, fans all around her constantly, she just, she gets overwhelmed. I guess you could say, especially with it, and especially in the headlines. Okay, so whenever somebody says something about her in the headlines, it's going to be very confusing because she's going, "Is that the truth? I mean, am I getting fatter?" Because I know that was one thing that was brought to her attention, that she's getting fatter. And so people are going, "She's getting so fat," and it's just social gossip, that would depress anybody. But, she's thinking, is that the truth? So anything that she may be hearing, especially socially, okay, in the social media, she doesn't know if it's true or not. She's very confused. She doesn't know what the truth is. Then when you look at the very last card, it means, to put an end to something. So really, whenever you look with the confusion and looking at social media and being confused with it, what she needs to do is put an end to that. Okay. Say, you know what? I'm not going to listen to anybody anymore. I'm going to speak my own truth. And if I hear something, I'm not going to believe in it, because I think she's having a really hard time, again, hearing what people say and what the truth really is. Okay. And as we get older, I mean, looking at when we're gaining weight, who cares? Okay. I know she's in entertainment, and who cares? Anybody that, as you get older, knows that you're going to put on some weight or you become unhealthy from not eating. So she really needs to speak her truth and really ignore what people say about her and speak her own truth. And so I think that's what the card's advice is, what's really telling her. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do next is I wanted to, because this was the 10 card reading, it gave her some advice. It gave us some more clear knowledge about what is going on with her. Sometimes I like to use different cards to get even more information. And I'm going to bring in some oracle cards. And the oracle cards are really going to tell us more general information than the Lenormand cards. But to me, it's a lot of fun because you look at it from a different point of view. And sometimes when you have two different set of cards that give you almost the same type of information, it's like that moment. You know that spirit is with you and that you are doing a fabulous job with your intuition with the cards. So let me go ahead and remove these cards and bring in my oracle cards. Now, the cards that I am actually going to use are the Whispers of Healing. And I was really being pulled for these cards because again, healing is involved because Selena really needs to, heal into more positive. And also the colors are more of your chakra colors. And so it may give us some guidance on what kind of chakra she really needs to work on. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the cards on. And I also like to shuffle them and get my energy on them and set an intention, just like I do with the Lenormand cards, but a little bit different because these cards are so big and there's so many more. So it works a little bit different. And I don't look at one card to try to activate. So I activate all the cards. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that for Solana just to go ahead and help her with her job and if there's any more advice that we can give her in these cards. Okay. All right. So I feel like I need to shuffle them at least one time. And these cards are so big to shuffle. Move my mat. All right. And usually with the oracle cards, I always like to spread them out like this and then draw that way. Okay. Because really, spirit or what will kind of guide you to whatever card needs to be pulled. And it seems like all, the cards that usually are chosen are the ones that really need to be in the spread. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the very first one. Now, the very first one, and I love to do this kind of spread, okay? It shows, especially at the very beginning, okay, the first card is for the past. Okay, I love this card spread, and I'll explain each category as we go. But the first card is always something that they have worked on in the past. Okay, and this is very interesting because in the past, and bless her heart, this really shows that she has tried to be in as much control as she can be. Okay, in her life. And that's the number one thing that she's really wanting to work on is that control. Because, when your life doesn't go the way that you want it to, you get frustrated and you want to try to control that. And she's learning how to let go of the control step by step. It's still hard for her, still triggering. And I love this because it shows that this lady is being carried by an eagle or vice versa. Okay. But the eagle is really helping her move forward. It's like, she has help. So she's not alone in this. And I think she's beginning to learn that to seek help when she needs it. Now, presently, let's see what she needs to work on, especially with her job, is hidden blessings. And just like the previous card reading, where we were talking about one thing that she may need to do is bring somebody who is optimistic into her life. Well, this is the same thing. Okay. So presently she really needs to dive down into all those hidden blessings that are in her life and have gratitude. And that gratitude will actually make her feel better about the world that she is at the moment. And I love this because it shows that somebody that's looking in and seeing what's inside. And so that's what she really needs to do with her life and say, you know what? I am so glad that is in my life. And you also need to remember that the negative things that are in your life, you also need to count that as a blessing. Because sometimes we are not where we are without the negativity or the things that happen in our life and we're going, I don't like that. I want to be in more control. Well, it happened for a reason, and it helped you go in the right direction. Now, this last card is kind of like the golden nugget, okay? And it means that something that she needs to make it into a habit, especially into the near future. And this is sincere relationships. And remember the pyramid spread was telling us that she needs to find not only people optimistic in her life, but she needs to break the cycle of men that are not treating her correct in her life. She wants that type of relationship that is more sincere, because when she has some relationships in her life, she'll trust them more, and she'll be going, okay, this is true friendship. They're not liking me because I'm a celebrity. They're liking me because of my truth. Okay. So that really, and so that how it kind of ties it up. It makes it much more compelling, and really the two spreads kind of complemented each other. So yeah, so not only did you learn how to do a 10 pyramid card spread using Lenormand cards, but you were also showed you how to use oracle cards to complete your readings, because they are so much more general and they bring so much more energy into the reading. And if you find oracle cards that really resonate with you, which I love the cards that I use because of the pictures and the artwork, that you'll be able to use your intuition and it will all make sense, and it will make your client's story that much more powerful. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and be sure and look at the next video that I have that will help you continue on your Lenormand journey.